Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast, where you'll find insight, analysis, and the story behind the numbers.
Hello and welcome to the State of the Economy podcast. I'm Jyothi Datta. As we enter 2025, we look back at the year gone by and ahead at the new year to understand how the pharmaceutical industry has fared and the challenges and opportunities that would come up in the next few months. After all, the pharma industry plays a critical role in the country's health security, so it becomes that much more important. To take us through this brief overview of the industry, we have with us Mr. Sudharshan Jain, Secretary General with the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance. Now, a word on the IPA. It represents the top domestic drug makers in the country. So, thank you, Mr. Jain, for being here with us.
Thank you, Jyoti, for inviting me here.
Sure. So, looking back at 2024 and how the pharma industry has done, what would you outline as some of the highs, the high points and some of the concern areas, Mr. Jain?
So I will say, as we all know, the pharma industry is a knowledge-driven sector, and it is a sector of pride for all of us. India is known as the pharmacy of the world, and we supply medicines to over 200 countries around the world. 60% of vaccine production, every third tablet in US is sold from India, every fourth tablet in Europe is sold from India. And it has earned $19 billion foreign exchange in 2024. I will say 2024 is a transformational year as far as pharma industry is concerned. And I would like to focus on four areas. One is self-reliance, which is important for healthcare security of the country. As we all know, that API production is concentrated in few countries, only primarily in one country, and we import 70% of our API from one country. The government of India announced PLI scheme, and we are seeing the dividends of this scheme with the starting of the production of penicillin and clavulanic acid. However, we have to be careful because there will be price reductions by those companies and predatory pricing will be a norm. And hence, it is important that going forward, we have to make sure that we are able to contain this price reduction and continue our focus on building self-reliance in API. We may also have to think of a holistic API scheme where we start working on a scheme from KPIs to excipients to an API. And this will be a very important step going forward. In fact, India, US, and other countries can join together in this important venture because healthcare security is an important priority for everyone. Second area, which is very, very important, is the quality. I will say that we announced Schedule M, and which was a very important step. A lot of awareness programs have been taken, a lot of risk-based audits have been conducted, and the government is also providing technical assistance. We have also seen the improvement in the US audit as far as Indian companies are concerned. So the quality is a fundamental aspect as far as healthcare industry is concerned because it is a license to operate in healthcare as we are dealing with healthcare. We have moved forward, and I'm sure the continuous efforts will be undertaken by the government in enforcing the quality control measures, and all the companies will keep it as a top priority to build the image of India as a quality destination for the world. The third area, which is very, very important as far as India is concerned, is innovation. We are very good in generic production. We supply 20% of generic medicines around the world, but our record in innovation has been relatively very low. However, we are seeing some early signs as far as this year is concerned. Nephithromycin for antimicrobial resistance is getting approved, as well as targetitazole for hepatitis, fatty acids that is getting approved. That is already getting approved in the US. So a lot of work is being done to gain space as far as innovation is concerned because it accounts for two-thirds of the pharma market. We also saw the introduction of CAR T cell therapy by ImmunoAct, and that is again a great development. There is also work which has been done on mRNA vaccine. So there are early signs, but it is at a nascent stage. We have to go a long way as far as innovation is concerned, and that is fundamental as far as healthcare is concerned. The fourth area is access. We supply medicines to 200 countries. However, our presence in Japan and China is relatively low, so we have to diversify our exports to other markets of the world. It is also important to improve access of medicine in India, particularly rural markets. 70% of the population resides in rural markets, whereas healthcare infrastructure is only 25%. The government has opened up medical colleges. It used to be around 387 in 2013-14, and now it is around over 700 medical colleges. We have got around 100,000 doctors passing out. Now, all this will give dividend for the future. And I say that this is transformational year. The results will be evident going forward. We need more doctors, we need nurses, we need healthcare infrastructure which can take care of the needs of the people. Ayushman Bharat, again, the initiative which has been undertaken has been the age limit has been increased over 70 beyond without income restriction, and that will also be beneficial. And I saw yesterday the report from Lancet. Ayushman Bharat has proved to be very beneficial as many of the cancer patients are being diagnosed early, heart patients have been treated well early. So there is opportunity for poor people to get the benefit of healthcare under the scheme. Overall, I will say that this is a transformational year. We have to still go a long way to improve access of healthcare for all. And this is the primary agenda for the country going forward, Jyoti.
Yes, so you've brought in several factors there from the interesting work around antibiotics and CAR T therapy, to Schedule M, which involves quality. So you have mentioned what will be focus areas. PLI, we see more of it sort of actually translating onto the ground. Will quality be a key point of concern? We are seeing whether it's with the not standard quality drugs, the reports that the government puts out regularly, or will it be the interpretation of the UCPMP, which governs the relationship between doctors and drug companies? Are these areas that are going to see more discussion in the coming year? What would the industry like to see on these, for example?
Thank you very much, Jyoti. All these areas are very, very important. First, I will focus on quality. Quality is a fundamental license to operate in this industry. We have got 10,000 manufacturers, and government has taken a lot of effort in terms of awareness, in terms of technical assistance, and I am sure this will be the major priority going forward because we should be known as a quality benchmark for the world. Hence, there should be more focus on enforcement, there should be more focus on capability building, there should be more focus on ensuring that there's a culture of quality all around those who are involved in healthcare. I think this is going to be a big priority going forward. Point number one. Point number two is UCPMP, Code of Marketing Practices. It is very, very important. All the companies which are involved in healthcare, they should follow the marketing framework which has been laid down. And the UCPMP provides clear guidelines what can be communicated, what cannot be communicated, and what are the practices which should be followed. This is much more clearer than earlier code of conduct. It is good for the industry that everyone follows UCPMP, and if there are any doubts, clarity, Department of Pharmaceuticals is always open for clarification. Every association has set up ethics committee. They can be approached if any clarifications are required. I hope this should be a major focus area from industry point of view because now it is for us to follow and ensure that everyone in the industry follow UCPMP. As far as the third area of counterfeit is concerned, it is an area which is of high importance. Counterfeit medicines are crime for making because when a person spends the money and buy medicine, and if the medicine does not perform the role which it is given, or it is counterfeit, spurious, it is a criminal act as far as healthcare industry is concerned. So the government should further strengthen the enforcement of the practices which are important, monitor those people who are involved in counterfeit medicine. They should be given strict punishment, and also there should be a clearly laid down process how counterfeit will be monitored and what will be declared as substandard drugs. Because sometimes it leads to confusion, the processes are not very clear. The CDSU has taken initiative in the last quarter of the year to make this process simpler and clearer. Now there should be more focus on enforcement and taking strong action against those who are involved in counterfeit practice.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more on that. And that is something we will be watching out for in, 2025. So you've covered home ground. What about the export market? We've seen already, various geopolitical pressures, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. Now we have closer home. We have Bangladesh as well, and strife areas. So that's one part. And on the other side, you have in the US, you have a new president who's going to be taking charge and bringing in his own people, his own different policies, possibly. So, how do you view the export prospects given all of these shifting sands, really?
There are two areas which I like to focus on as far as exports are concerned. One is the need of diversified supply chain in APIs. So the API self-reliability is very, very important. And government has taken the measure as far as announcing the PLI scheme is concerned. We should continue our thrust as far as that area is concerned and realize that benefit and also work with other countries, namely US, Europe, to find out if the demand can be merged together, and we partner each other on creating API supply diversified chain as far as creating healthcare security of the world is concerned. Second area is there's a need for affordable medicines all over the world. There's a need for access of affordable medicine all over the world. India plays a very, very important role. In fact, India has played a very important role over the years for access of HIV medicine, oncology medicine, diabetes medicine, and now that role will become much more important going forward in biosimilars and other products which are coming out of patent. Given even the new administration coming in US, healthcare security is important from their point of view. Affordable medicine is important as the US government is talking of Department of Government Efficiency, and India can play a very, very important role. In fact, this is the inflection point for India, and India should move forward with full speed to capitalize on the export opportunity and creating an ecosystem where we simplify, support our procedures for export, and create a foundation for API self-reliance, which is very important going forward.
Yes, there is a lot of work being done on API self-reliance. Uh, just one final question, Mr. Jain. I know this is a huge sector, and it's really a bird's eye view that we are taking here. But how do you see the industry contributing into government programs for, making medicines accessible and affordable for common people? I mean, you have the Jan Aushadhi, which is now expanded to about 14,000 centers and kendras. So, do you see a role that the pharma industry can play here in supporting the Jan Aushadhi as well?
Yes, because industry is committed to improve the access of medicine. I would also like to highlight that our medicines today are the most economical in the world. You take around the world, our medicines are economical. And our focus at this particular moment should be more on innovation and research. We have achieved as far as economy part of medicine is concerned. Now the part is more getting into innovation space, getting into right quality, and also insurance. Ayushman Bharat scheme, Jan Aushadhi scheme will help to improve access to the areas where medicines and healthcare facility is not available. Also, the government initiative in opening medical colleges and increase the talent base of doctors will become very, very important. So the healthcare infrastructure is very, very important. And the government expenditure, we are going to see the budget coming in. And our expectation is that government will increase expenditure on healthcare, which should go around 2.5%. And the government infrastructure of healthcare should be further strengthened, which will help to improve the access of healthcare all around.
That is a long pending ask, I suppose, of the government from all quarters for an increase in healthcare spending. Like with that, Mr. Jain, we bring this conversation to an end. From the Business Line team and myself, thank you for your time and insights.
Thank you very much, Jyoti, and I wish everyone a very happy and good health in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much.